It's gotten to the point where using the railgun just isn't fun anymore. We've got a whole arsenal of awesome weapons to choose from, but somehow, we all end up with a railgun in hand. The railgun definitely packs a punch against those 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗘𝗥 hefty tanks, but when you're rolling with a well-coordinated squad, there are other weapons out there that can turn the tide of battle in some pretty crazy ways, especially when you mix them with a railgun or two in the team. Today, I'm here to persuade you to let go of your railgun, especially if your squad already has one, and consider grabbing the arc thrower instead. It's one of the game's top-tier weapons, yet it seems like only a handful of players are talking about it. Welcome to Insightful Gaming, and if you get any value out of this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Alright, let's get into it. Today, we are talking about the arc thrower, a badass support gun that's been flying under the radar. I know some of you might be thinking, can this thing really outshine the railgun? The arc thrower is not your average weapon. It's been around the block, but hasn't quite hit mainstream fame yet, mostly because everyone's obsessing over the railgun, even myself in my videos. But here's the deal, this baby has unlimited ammo and can zap multiple enemies at once, making it a chain damage powerhouse. It's perfect for wiping out enemy mobs and dropships without breaking a sweat. Plus, it completely bypasses heavy armor, dealing damage straight to the bad guy's health. What's cool about the arc thrower is its auto-targeting. Aim it at an enemy, and it locks on, focusing on the center. But you can also target specific parts, like blasting a charger's leg to chip away armor before finishing it off with another weapon. And you can pair it with the Scorcher for that extra for even more damage. Just make sure you chip away enough armor before switching weapons. On the flip side, this gun is a beast against bots, taking out groups of them with ease. Even when the dropships start coming in, the arc thrower can quickly clear out the bad guys, making it invaluable in tight spots. This is even pretty great against hulks, now not as great as a railgun, but it can still get it done. It takes about 4 to 6 shots to bring one down, the hulk, which might seem high, but remember, you're likely hitting other targets most of the time. This game loves to zerg you down, so this weapon is not only good with armored enemies, but it can also clear waves with a click. I also put the arc thrower to the test against a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗥, and let's just say, it wasn't the best showdown. The railgun can easily take down a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏, no sweat. But don't write off the arc thrower just yet. It's a champ at taking down almost everything else in the game, which is honestly pretty awesome. Even though the arc thrower couldn't quite handle the 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏 on its own, it did an amazing job at clearing out all the smaller enemies around it. And when you compare it to the railgun, well, the railgun kinda sucks at dealing with large groups of enemies. Remember, this game is all about teaming up and figuring out the best loadout for each mission. So if you're up against a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏, maybe have one of your buddies bring the railgun to focus on the big guy. Meanwhile, you can use your arc thrower to take care of the swarm, making the fight a whole lot easier for everyone. In my book, having a mix of arc throwers and railguns in your squad is way better than everyone just packing a railgun. This mix-up is crucial because a lot of teams fail when they can't handle the swarms of enemies while also trying to take down the bosses and mini-bosses. If you're playing solo or with just one partner, you've got to strategize your loadout carefully, especially for taking down those tough 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏s. Don't forget to equip something like an orbital laser cannon or orbital laser for those high difficulty titans. So, while the arc thrower might not be your go-to for a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏, it's still pretty solid against all the mini-bosses in the game. Plus, it's decent at chipping away at the 𝗕𝗕𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏s while also helping you manage the swarms of enemies around them. Here's the deal, if you're teaming up in pairs, have one person carry the railgun and the other wield the arc thrower. And if you've got a full squad of 4, split into 2 teams, each with a railgun and an arc thrower. This strategy helps you tackle both the big bosses and the swarms efficiently. Let's circle back to something we touched on earlier in the video, why the Scorcher is the ultimate weapon to team up with the arc thrower. Now, I get that the Scorcher is a late game unlock, and many of you might not have gotten your hands on it yet. Chances are, you're still rocking the breaker shotgun, which, don't get me wrong, is an absolute beast. It's fantastic for dishing out heavy damage to a single target and mowing down those enemy swarms. But it's got its downsides, like running out of ammo pretty fast. Now, on the flip side, we are using arc thrower. This beauty comes with unlimited ammo, making it your go-to for clearing out those crowds without breaking a sweat. And when you pair it with the Scorcher, you're basically unstoppable. The Scorcher slices health through armor like it's nothing. So, after you've softened up the enemy lines with your arc thrower, switch to the Scorcher to finish the job. It's perfect for dealing with just about anything that's not a 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗕𝗏 or tank. The Scorcher can still hurt enemies by bypassing their armor, hitting their health directly. But a word of caution, the Scorcher can be as dangerous to you as it is to the enemy. Make sure you're keeping your distance because getting too cozy can end up in a self-inflicted KO. Plus, it's got a smaller mag size, which means you'll need to get the hang of reloading more often than you might be used to. So, while the Scorcher might take some time to master, especially with its limited ammo capacity, it's a game changer when used alongside the arc thrower. Just remember to practice that aim and keep your distance, and you'll be laying waste to enemies in no time. Up next, let's dive into the ultimate stratagems to pair with your arc thrower to really ramp up your game. First up, we've got the shield generator pack. This thing is a game changer, trust me. It's like having an invisible force field that laughs in the face of bullets and melee attacks from those pesky automatons and bugs. When you're up against the tough stuff on higher difficulties, this shield is like your personal bodyguard. Try playing a match with it, then go without it next time, and you'll feel the difference big time. It keeps you safe from stuns, crowd control, and yes, even lets you walk away from a face-off with a charger or survive the dreaded green puke attack from a Bile Titan. But remember, if an enemy gets up close and personal, inside your shield, they can still take a swing at you. So, keep your distance and backpedal if they start getting too close. Next, we're talking about the Eagle Airstrike. This thing is the definition of firepower flexibility. It's like calling down your own personal thunderstorm on whatever's in your path. Fast to deploy and precise, it lets you control the battlefield with explosive style. Whether you're tasked with demolishing buildings or just want to clear a swarm in a blink, the Eagle Airstrike has got your back. Fully upgraded, you get 3 charges to play with, making it a go-to for any mission. And the best part? You can re-up those charges to keep the explosives coming. With the right ship upgrades, you turn the Airstrike into an absolute monster. First, invest in the liquid ventilated cockpit. This cuts the cooldown of your Eagle stratagem by 50%. Next, go for pit crew hazard pay, which reduces the Eagle rearm time by 20%. Finally, grab the expanded weapons bay to bump up your Eagle stratagem uses by 1. Last but definitely not least, let's shine a spotlight on the orbital rail cannon. When you need something obliterated, especially those tough as nails armored targets, this is your Hail Mary. Pairing this with your arc thrower gives you the perfect 1-2 punch for dealing with the big baddies like Bile Titans or bot tanks. It's not my personal go-to, but I can't deny its effectiveness in taking down the heavy hitters fast and efficiently. Another cool option to consider is the orbital laser. It's awesome for dealing with those tanks and Bile Titans too. Well, that wraps up my guide. I really hope I've managed to get you to stop using 4 railguns in every mission. Seriously, give the arc thrower a shot. Believe me, with the proper setup, you can elevate this weapon to S tier status. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more epic hell diverse content, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. Your support keeps these guides coming.